Join us as we travel back in time to revisit 10 old fast food chains that didn't stand the test of time. Ready? Do you remember walking past that restaurant with the big statue of a smiling boy holding a giant burger? That's Bob's Big Boy, which started in 1936 in California and became really popular in the 1950s and 1960s. Even though some people think it was like a fast food place, for many, Bob's Big Boy was actually a family diner, perfect for having a meal together. For those of us who grew up in the 70s, going there felt special. One of the best parts was having the Big Boy combo. The blue cheese salad dressing and an ice-cold cherry Coke were hard to forget. They were the best. In the 50s and 60s, families often traveled long distances by car across the country, and Bob's Big Boy was a must-stop. The amazing smell that hit you when you walked in was unforgettable, something many of us miss today. I remember going there as a kid not just for the tasty food, but also for the cool comics we could read while waiting for our meal. It made the experience even more fun. And of course, there was the delicious chocolate brownie with creamy ice cream for dessert. Who could say no to that? But as time went on, fast food giants like McDonald's and Burger King took over, and Bob's Big Boy began to fade away. Now, there are only about 5 locations left in the United States, most of them in California, including the legendary original in Burbank. For those of us lucky enough to have grown up with it, those memories still bring a smile. In the 1960s and 1970s, Carol's was one of the leading fast food chains in the northeastern United States, known for its tasty hamburgers and affordable prices. Founded in 1960, the chain grew quickly, offering a fast and convenient experience, but with a homemade touch that appealed to both young people and families. Carol's was famous for its iconic burger, the Club Burger, along with classic fast food items like crispy fries and milkshakes. For many, Carol's was the first fast food restaurant where parents would take the whole family. It was ideal for tight budgets. 2 kids could eat for just $1. How cool was that? Carol's restaurants had a special look with curved roofs and a cozy feel. On weekends, families would line up to try their popular combos, which became a staple for those who grew up in that era. Many kids of the time can remember Carol's as a meeting spot after school or sports events. At its peak, the chain operated around 150 stores across the United States. However, during the 1970s, Carol's underwent a major transition. The chain decided to shift its focus and began converting its stores into Burger Kings after acquiring franchise rights from the fast food giant. This led to the gradual disappearance of the Carol's brand. As many knew it, today, Carol's Corporation is the largest franchise operator of Burger King, maintaining an indirect legacy that still exists in the fast food industry. Do you miss it? Share your experiences in the comments below. Oh my, such fond memories of this one. Founded in 1956 in Miami Beach, Florida, Lums was a casual restaurant chain known for something really unique: its hot dogs steamed in beer. That's right, Lums had a simple menu with a special twist. It was always our go-to spot when we wanted something tasty. Besides the famous hot dogs, they also served amazing roast beef sandwiches, a better version of the Sloppy Joe, and the iconic Ollie Burger. In the 60s and 70s, Lums grew quickly, with over 400 locations across the U.S. For many, it was a regular stop, where adults could relax with a beer and kids could enjoy simple, tasty meals. Do you remember the first time you tried one of Lums' famous beer-steamed hot dogs? The taste was unforgettable. This restaurant was all about good family times, and it's such a shame it went out of business. It was a big part of childhood memories for so many. Growing up back then felt special because there were so many small businesses. I feel sorry for kids growing up today. Sadly, it's the same story with a lot of restaurant chains. A big company buys them, the quality drops, customers stop coming, and the chain goes bankrupt. Over time, most Lums locations closed, and today, none of the old restaurants remain. When we think of classic American restaurants from back in the day, Lums always comes to mind. No one did beer-steamed hot dogs better than they did. Now that's a hot dog. I'd give anything for one right now. Lots of memories from this list, and I couldn't forget this one. Maybe you even remember it as your first job or for the famous Big Wink Burger and Fries. Founded in 1962 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Winkies was a small but beloved fast food chain that won many hearts with its simple and direct slogan, "Fast Food Cheap." It was known for offering meals at incredibly low prices like burgers for just 15 cents. Yep, you heard that right, 15 cents. Winkies restaurants had a simple, functional design, focused on serving fast food classics like burgers, fries, and milkshakes. Today, many people remember Winkies fondly as the neighborhood spot where you could fill up without spending much. I'm tearing up just thinking about how cheap food used to be back in the good old days. Oh boy, who could forget the days when burgers cost less than 20 cents? And the famous slogan, "Winkies makes you happy to be hungry," which always brought a smile to people stopping by for a quick bite. In the 60s and 70s, Winkies expanded rapidly across western Pennsylvania and nearby states, reaching about 42 restaurants in the U.S. at its peak. But, like many other chains from that era, it began to struggle with growing competition from the fast food giants. Despite efforts to stay afloat, rising operational costs and pressure from the big chains forced Winkies to close its doors in the early 80s. Do you miss it? Henry's Hamburgers is an old American fast food chain from the 1950s, 1960s, and 1970s. It emerged in response to the growing demand for quick and affordable meals. Founded in 1954 as an extension of Schiff Shoes, the chain quickly gained popularity by offering tasty burgers at extremely low prices. 10 burgers for $1 was a deal that drew in crowds. Wow, those prices! In the 1960s, it expanded aggressively, opening more than 200 locations across the country. With a simple menu focused on burgers and fries, it became the perfect spot for a quick stop in the middle of a busy day. All the best cheeseburgers, hands down. Many remember it as a special place, and it was a real treat to visit during the summer with family. The chain was one of the pioneers in embracing the drive-through concept, which made it even more popular among Americans who were getting used to the convenience of eating in their cars. However, like other fast food chains from that era, it faced tough competition from bigger names like McDonald's and Burger King. A lack of innovation and increasing financial pressures led most of the locations to close in the 1970s. But here's some good news for fans. Today, there is still one remaining location in Benton Harbor, Michigan, keeping the tradition alive and offering a taste of nostalgia from a bygone era. Founded in 1958 in Illinois, SIS DriveIn offered a fast food experience similar to the big chains but with a local touch. Growing up, it was a family favorite, and there are so many memories of good times shared at those spots. The little Scottish girl mascot in her plaid outfit was such a cute advertisement. Originally created as a McDonald's franchise before the brand split, the chain quickly established its own identity, becoming known for its tasty burgers and creamy milkshakes. You could enjoy milkshakes, the best fries, and of course, the famous Big Scott burger. It was the perfect spot for a really good burger. I've always wondered what was in their secret sauce. For many, it was a special place, full of fond memories, and some even say it was better than McDonald's. Drive-ins were hugely popular in the 50s and 60s, and this one stood out for its friendly atmosphere. There are so many memories. The Big Scott, sitting in the car to eat, burgers for just 15 cents, and fries for 10 cents. It was a real treat. By the 60s, the company expanded rapidly, with more than 120 locations across the Midwest and even some in Canada. However, it struggled to compete with the bigger fast food chains. Instead of innovating or expanding aggressively, Sandy's was sadly acquired by Hardee's in 1972, leading to the gradual conversion of its locations to the new brand. Now, all that remains are memories of those busy drive-ins and the friendly Scottish mascot. Could it have survived with quicker adaptation? Maybe one day we'll see a comeback, but for now, we hold on to the nostalgia and the stories we have to tell. Wag's was a chain of diners operated by Walgreens in the 70s and 80s, offering an affordable option for quick and convenient meals. Usually located near or inside the pharmacies, these diners were the perfect spot for a break during the day, especially for those looking for a simple, tasty lunch. Wag's was a favorite lunch stop on my Saturday. Many remember stopping by on weekends to enjoy generous portions of sandwiches, soups, and salads. The menu featured classic American diner food like burgers, fries, and milkshakes, along with breakfast options served all day. The cozy atmosphere and affordable prices made it popular with families and workers who needed a quick meal between errands. In the 80s, Walgreens decided to focus on its core pharmacy business and began selling or closing the diner locations. By 1988, most of the diners were acquired by the Marriott chain, which converted them to the big boy concept, leaving us with nostalgic memories of a time when life was simpler and we appreciated the little things. Who wouldn't love one last quick meal there before getting on with the day? Founded in 1956 in Pasadena, California, PPP and Taco stood out for its diverse menu, offering a mix of hot dogs, pups, tacos, and other quick dishes like fries and refreshing drinks. This unique combination attracted customers looking for something different from the usual burgers and fries. By the 1970s, the chain expanded quickly throughout California, with over 100 locations. The idea of offering both Mexican and American food in a fast food setting was innovative for the time, helping it build a loyal customer base. Who could forget the taste of their crispy tacos or the classic chili dog that many thought was unbeatable? The restaurant was also known for its cold drinks, offering a wide variety of sodas and slushies in different flavors, perfect for hot California days. Despite its initial success, the chain struggled with growing competition in the fast food market, especially from places like Taco Bell, which specialized in Mexican food. In 1984, most locations were sold to Taco Bell. The few remaining locations eventually closed for good as well. Biff Burger was a well-known American fast food chain that became popular in the 1950s and 60s. Founded in 1956, it became known for its uniquely grilled burgers, where the meat was cooked on a rotating grill and then dipped in a special secret sauce, giving the burgers a distinctive flavor that many loved. In addition to burgers, the menu offered classic fast food items like fries, milkshakes, and hot dogs. At its peak, Biff Burger expanded across the United States with more than 100 locations operating in various regions. It had the classic American drive-in style with cars parked outside and servers bringing food directly to the vehicles. This setup attracted many families, especially on weekends. However, over the years, Biff Burger struggled to compete with fast food giants like McDonald's and Burger King, which led to the gradual closure of most of its locations during the 70s and 80s. Surprisingly, one Biff Burger location still survives in St. Petersburg, Florida, preserving the original charm and flavors of the chain. This spot remains a nostalgic place for those who grew up with the brand and is a true treasure for fans of classic fast food. Founded in 1970 in California, Noggles was a fast food chain specializing in Mexican cuisine. With a simple yet efficient approach, the menu featured classics like burritos, tacos, nachos, and other dishes that combined traditional Mexican flavors with fast food convenience. The chain quickly expanded, attracting many customers, especially those looking for a quick meal. By the 1980s, Noggles had grown significantly, with more than 200 locations across California and the western United States. Known for its slogan, "Prepare food fresh, serve customers fast, keep the place clean," the restaurant gained a loyal customer base, with many seeing it as a quality alternative to traditional American fast food. In 1988, the chain was bought by Del Taco, which eventually converted most of the locations to its own brand. This merger caused the Noggles name to gradually disappear. I'm glad it's back. In 2015, after a long nostalgic campaign led by fans and former customers, Noggles was revived with the opening of a new restaurant in Fountain Valley, California. Today, the brand is trying to regain its former presence, keeping alive the essence that made it so special decades ago. I haven't been to the new location, but I'm happy the name lives on. And before you check out our next video, let me ask you, if you could bring back one restaurant from the past, which one would it be?